Hey folks, Crazy Pretzel here, doing my TNA Impact review from last night, Thursday, April 26, 2012. I haven't done an Impact review in a while because, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I've been, trying to catch up on Impact because I was, 2 months behind on shows. So I've pretty much watched every show and I've caught up to it. Pretty much, you know how, generally things in the business world, things in life, how, they go uphill, then they come down, then they kind of go back up, then they come back down, kind of like a roller coaster. When I was watching Impact, it had been a while since I've watched wrestling, so Impact was I was watching it, and it was really a lot of good shows. I was, very impressed with a lot of them. But then they brought Hulk Hogan back on TV, more frequently, and now it's going down on this slope. The last couple Impacts, last week's and this show this week, I don't care for them. It's garbage. So, there was a couple okay matches on this show, but overall it's just been garbage. And I'm really disappointed how they, did this whole storyline with, Hogan becoming the general manager again. Because, just to inform anybody that doesn't know, it's Sting was in charge or something, and now he's, gonna, come back as a full-time wrestler to, recharge his batteries or something. So, basically, he, said that he wanted to put Hogan in charge, so, but Dixie didn't want that for obvious reasons, because Hogan took her company. So, but then Dixie's like, well, Sting, if you trust him, then I trust you, so I can trust Hogan. And it's Hogan basically gains control again, and, there's, no weariness, no, suspicion about him. It's all, clean good. And I think it's stupid. Dixie Carter should be, on his fucking ass, She should have been okay, Hogan, I will give you control, but you cannot take my company from me again, under any circumstances, legal action or something. Just, and she should be, on his ass. Making him prove that he can run this company again. But it's Dixie Carter, sucks on TV as a character. And it's it just makes me, feel she's, such an incompetent buffoon. I mean, as a character in general, because it's she's not, showing that she's a boss or a president of a company. You're a president of a company, you shouldn't take any shit, you know what I'm saying? She's letting people shit all over her, and she doesn't do anything about it. It's what the fuck, It's just, it's stupid. Alright. If I have any more, thoughts from previous Impacts come in my mind, I'm gonna say it. Because, obviously, I'm not gonna review a bunch of shows that I already reviewed. But, yeah. So, let's go into this. Open Fight Night. Open Fight Night basically means that once a month they're going to have, one of the champions of the company, one of the world champ, tag champs, X Division champ, knockout champ, etc., is going to have to defend their belt. And then if there's other Impact wrestlers that want to challenge someone to a match or something, then whoever they're challenging has to automatically accept, or they get fired or something. I don't know. They say they don't get fired. They have to accept. So, but anyway, this is Open Fight Night. Kind of a stupid name because it's a wrestling company. When I hear Open Fight Night, it makes me sound like I'm going to a mixed martial arts show, and someone's just open invitation to a fight or something. It's kind of a lame name in my opinion, but whatever. So we start the show off with the television champion Devon defending his television title against Bully Ray. I don't really care for Devon, much of a wrestler anymore. I like Devon when he's, in a tag teaming with somebody. Tag team wrestler, he's fine, but singles, he just doesn't really do it for me. I mean, he's not bad in the ring or anything, but I don't like his finisher. It's weak spine buster. It's a little better, I guess, than David Otunga's spine buster, but it's not much. But, I don't know why he's doing a spine buster when he's got the Saving Grace. Saving Grace was basically Goldust's curtain call maneuver that he used to do. But, anyway, so we got Devon versus Bully Ray for the television title. The match was okay. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It had some time to it. There was a couple cool spots in it. Devon, was gonna go for the saving grace on Bully Ray at one point, and then Bully Ray just did like a diamond cutter, like right away, which was kind of cool. And then as Devon wins with a spine buster. So Devon wins it. I didn't like that Bully Ray lost. Like, you know, Bully Ray to me, he's kind of like a top, like a mid upper carder guy, semi main eventer guy, and he's losing to like a low card guy cleanly. You know what I mean? Like, I know, you know, they're trying to prove that Devon's tough by defending the belt week in, week out, because that's like another stipulation that that the television champion has now. Whoever television champion is, they have to defend the belt every week, which is cool, but I don't like Devon being champion. And, but Bully Ray lost, like, cleanly. So, and then they had Austin Aries, like, backstage, you know, saying that, you know, like, Bully Ray couldn't cheat, so obviously he can't win. So at least, like, they're kind of connecting the feud there with Austin Aries and Bully Ray, which is nice. But I don't think Bully Ray should have lost cleanly. In fact, I think he should have just won the belt. I mean, they haven't done shit with the television title since they brought it in. Like, Robbie P was the champ for a while, and, you know, he barely defended the belt. I think he defended it against, like, AJ and, like, Rob Van Dam, and even, like, those guys, he only beat them because of, like, interference or something. Bully Ray should have just won the belt. And just, like, you know, because would have solidified kind of his main event slot. But whatever. Next we had Kazarian and Christopher Daniels interrupting Kurt Angle in the locker room. Basically, last week, AJ and Kurt Angle had a match one-on-one. And then it was a pretty shitty match, actually. They had, like, no time. And then Daniels and Kazarian basically cost AJ the match or something. They have this storyline where, like, Daniels has something over Kazarian because Kazarian's kind of been forced to work with him. But now it's like, you know, gonna haunt AJ or something. I don't really get it. They had some document. They didn't show the document, obviously, what it is, but it's something to do with some legal document or something. I can only imagine what it's gonna be. But, yeah, it's basically Angle's like, you know, if you guys come in, you know, interrupt my match again, I'm gonna kick your ass. So that's basically the whole purpose of that. Next we had Jeremy Borash versus Eric Bischoff. Yeah, I gave this match 0 out of 5. Basically, like, JB came out and, like, some time ago on the internet, you guys probably heard about it. Like, Eric Bischoff, you know, ripped on JB, like, on Twitter, a tweet or something. And, so I guess they decided to turn that into, like, a storyline, basically, on this Impact or whatever. So JB called out Bischoff and, you know, wanted to fight him. So then Bischoff comes out and he's talking to him and, you know, kind of getting ready to accept the challenge. And then Bully Ray comes up from behind and low blows JB. And then JB's like on the ground and then Bischoff has a ref start the match. And then Bischoff just beats him, like pins him cleanly. Like, I don't understand how JB could have been knocked unconscious, you know, just by getting hit in the balls and nothing else. You get hit in the balls. Yeah, I mean, you're fucking, like, wired, you know, how fucking painful it is. But you can still kick out, you know, if someone pinning you. You know what I mean? It was just stupid. Alright. Next we had, basically, like, there was a lot of backstage promos. A lot of backstage promos for, you know, Eric Bischoff's going away party, which was in the main event slot tonight. Anderson basically, like, calls him a douchebag. Whatever. Next we have Mexican American in the ring complaining that they haven't been utilized. Like, that they're not, like, in the tag team title matchup tonight. Basically, like, that's the belt that's getting defended on the open fight night. I want to say open mic night for some reason. But they're bitching that they're not in the title match. And then Anarchy is like, yeah, he's like, you know, like, no man can beat both of us or whatever. And then Kurt Angle comes out and we have Angle versus Anarchia. And I gave this a half a point out of 5 because this match lasted like 10 seconds. Anarchia is all like, yeah, you're gonna fight Hernandez, and then like when Angle starts to go toward Hernandez, he jumps in from behind, but then Angle German suplexes him, Angle slam, and ankle locks him in like 10 seconds. So, I mean, it was kind of funny to watch like Anarchia get beat in like 10 seconds, but still, if you're gonna make this like this shouldn't have been a match. It should have just been a beatdown. Leave it alone, you know. So 0.5 out of 5. Next we have like On the open fight night, like, there's something called gut check, which is like an indie wrestler basically like has the opportunity to wrestle Impact superstar, and if they, impress some judges, then they get a contract basically. So they had a guy named Alex Silva, who I'm not really familiar with. I guess he wrestled in Ohio Valley Wrestling or something. They had some promo of him. Basically, he's a good guy, I guess. That's like pretty much all I got out of it. So Al Snow came out with him and was basically, promoting the whole gut check thing on the open fight night. And so we get Robbie P versus Alex Silva. And I gave the match 2 out of 5. It was okay, but it should have went longer. I really wasn't too impressed with Alex Silva. Like, there was nothing really, like, outstanding, like, holy shit, that he did. The guy basically just kind of looks like a skinnier Cody Rhodes, in my opinion. But Cody Rhodes actually has some talent, He's actually a very good wrestler. This guy, I just don't care for him. Robbie P won with an implant DDT. Or Impaler DDT. Basically a Gangrel's move back in the day. I was questioning if there was a botch during the match because before Robbie P won the matchup, he was in control, and then they randomly showed the crowd, but it wasn't there was something going on in the crowd. It was just the crowd. Then he hit the move. So I don't know if they had to cut time off or if there was a big botch that they didn't want to show or something. So I'm questioning that. Then we had a series of backstage promos. Well, not a series, but we'd have this one, then we would have it again later in the show, then again later in the show. We had Hogan basically talking with Kazarian and Daniels, Hardy and Anderson, Eric Young and ODB, and Motor City Machine Guns to see who would get the tag title shot. So he basically has all of them state their reasoning, why they should get the shot, why other people shouldn't get the shot, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go over what everybody said, but basically, Hogan's logic, since, the Motor City Machine Guns, he was concerned about Saban's knee at lockdown, he took them out of the picture of getting the shot. Eliminated them, basically. So, yeah, they should have just had one promo with this, not throughout the show. Next we had Miss Tessmacher come out. Last week on Impact, she pinned Gail Kim in a 8-woman or 8 knockout tag match or whatever. Well, women are knockouts. Knockouts are the women. So I guess I could have said either or, but so she challenges Gail Kim to a match 1-on-1. I gave this a 3 out of 5. I thought this match was a pretty good knockouts match. It went about 5 minutes. Couple cool moves in the matchup, Gail Kim had Tessmacher on her shoulders, and then instead of a nice back Samoan drop, she just threw her down on her jaw. It was kind of cool, or it looked like it. She nailed her jaw, which was cool. And then Gail Kim, the finish of it, Gail Kim went up top to go for her missile dropkick, and she wound up missing the move. And then Tessmacher kind of picked her up, she held her up on her shoulders, and then just slammed her on her face for the 3 count. So it was pretty cool, finisher, I thought. So, Tessmacher didn't do too bad in the match, I thought. Obviously it was non-title, she's not the champ or anything. Next we had a nice RVD, Bobby Roode promo package, because RVD is the #1 contender, and he's going to fight Roode at the next pay-per-view. Which is cool, I like Rob Van Dam. I like Bobby Roode maybe a little bit more. Bobby Roode has been such an awesome champion. So he's I am the selfish leader or something. I am the it factor. He's definitely the it factor. He's awesome. And speaking of him, next we had an Alex Silva, Al Snow backstage thing, and Al Snow was yeah, I was one of the judges, and I'm going to talk to the other judges, and we'll see, if you get a contract or not. And then Bobby Roode shows up, and basically, he's basically saying what not only a lot of wrestlers in the real world would say at something like this, but a lot of fans would, including myself, would say basically saying how he had to work his ass off to get his spot on the roster and then work even harder to get the belt or whatever, and how he didn't just get these like opportunities or whatever. So, but he was gonna teach the kid a lesson, and he's like, expect the unexpected. And then he punches him in the stomach. I thought that was cool. Next we had another Hogan backstage promo with the other 3 teams that weren't picked, and then ODB and Eric Young got eliminated next from being picked or something. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Next we had a Bully Ray Joseph Parks backstage thing. Okay, Joseph Parks is basically Abyss. Like, it's Abyss. He doesn't have the mask on. He's well dressed as a lawyer, glasses on, etc. I like this character. Basically, like, Joseph Parks, like, the storyline right now is Joseph Parks is, like, he's looking, like, he's trying to find what happened to Abyss, his brother, or whatever. So, it's kind of like, either A, he, like, has some, like, amnesia or something, and doesn't know, like, where, who he is or something, or B, it's like they're trying to do, like, a twin brother sort of storyline or something, or, I'm not really sure, like, what direction they're going, so I kind of like the storyline. I'm curious to see what they do with it. So, it's nice to see Abyss having, like, a different character, too, especially since they have him talking now all the time. So, I miss the old days when James Mitchell used to be his manager and, like, did the talking for him and was like, click Doomsday! That was good shit back then. So, alright, next we have, like, our main event matchup, which is the tag team title match. So, Daniels and Kazarian come out, and Anderson and Jeff Hardy come out, and basically Hogan picks Hardy and Anderson to get the shot. And it was weird because out of the teams that could have, like, fought for the tag titles, it was like Anderson and Hardy were, like, randomly teamed up. And, like, over the last couple weeks of Impact, they only teamed up, like, a couple times. But it was, like, one of those, like, main event, tag matches, where it's, like, the 2 tag teams that aren't really teams, but they're, single stars teamed up kind of deal. So, they won their couple matches, but then last week on Impact, there was a triple threat world title match between RVD, Anderson, and Hardy. And then, RVD won, and then Anderson and Hardy kind of, like, had some words after the match, I guess. But it's just weird that they're, like, randomly teamed up, and then Hogan's like, whole night saying, I'm worried. I love it when you're doing a video and then your camera dies. So, anywho, main event, Samoa Joe and Magnus against Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson. It was a good main event. Gave it 3.5 out of 5. Match of the night, I think. It was a pretty good match, back and forth. Magnus and Joe won cleanly. Samoa Joe basically got Anderson in the Coquina clutch, and Hardy tried to get back in the ring to save him, but Magnus, like, kind of held him from getting back in the ring. So, Joe and Magnus won cleanly. Then after the match, Kazarian and Daniels, like, jumped them from behind. So, obviously, they want to, make a statement to get a tag team title matchup. So, that's cool. That's cool with me. I like that Impact is, like, focusing on their tag division. So, which is weird in WWE right now. I think, like, what is it, Primo and the other guy, I can't think of his name, but it's like they've been, like, losing, like, their tag matches like crazy lately, and then they're the tag team champions. So, TNA, it's nice to see the tag team champions beat the contenders cleanly. So, then we had Eric Bischoff's going away party. I didn't really watch this. I was actually doing laundry during this thing, because this shouldn't be a main event. This should have been earlier in the show. No, it should have been on the show, period. But this shit, I just didn't really care for it, so I did laundry. But basically, to sum it up, Flair and, the rest of the former guys of Immortal are sucking up to Bischoff, They give him a gold Rolex. JB comes back out with Garrett Bischoff and some other guys, Motor City Machine Guns, RBT, Austin Aries. The wrestlers brawl with each other, and then JB and Garrett grab Bischoff and they throw him, like, in a porta potty, which they called the Shed of Shame, and they push it over, and then Bischoff's covered with, poop and shit, which is the same thing. He's covered with that, and that's pretty much how they ended the show. So, They pretty much ended the show with shit, which is kind of what this show was for the most part, shit. And I hate to say that, because I like Impact Wrestling, you know. I love TNA. But it's like, this show, last week's show was bad, but this show was, like, worse than last week's. You know, it's like, since they put Hogan back on TV, it's like, I feel like it's just gonna going down and stay down here for a while, instead of staying up here, or at least on a trend upward, where it was the last few months. So, hopefully it gets better. I'm gonna try to watch it if I don't go bananas, and, you know, whatever. Thanks for watching, phonies. Peace out.